Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Megan Fox, and today I have an exclusive interview for you with the source that provided us with the subpoena for the Laura Owens criminal case in Maricopa County. That's right, I got the source on the phone, and we had a discussion about how that went, getting served with a subpoena, and other information that has not come out yet. And just to let you know, the source's identity has been hidden, voice has been changed for their own safety and, not wanting to be a target of Laura Owens and her attorney's harassment. So please sit back, grab your popcorn, and enjoy. Thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate you talking to me today. I just have a couple of questions. And the first one is, what was it like getting served by the Maricopa County investigators for, medical records for Laura Owens? What did they tell you? What was it like?
The reason they subpoenaed us was because they connected that phone number that she was communicating with our med spa. And so they didn't really have the name of who she was getting it from or the actual med spa. So they just went off that phone number that she was communicating with, I guess. And so it came back to us. The investigators showed up with the subpoena. They served us. It was interesting. There were two of them, and they came in and asked at the front desk for all of her records. But we're a family practice, and I kind of wanted to know just before we randomly give out medical records. I wanted to know what was going on. So I looked at the subpoena, and then I went back into the old system, because there was nothing in the new system, but I had to go back in the old system. We didn't have any patients by that name or any of the aliases that they provided. And I want to say one of them was maybe her mom's name, if I'm remembering correctly. And I was like, no, we have nothing. We don't have anything under any of those names. And they asked, could she just call and order it? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, you can't just call and say, hey, I'd like a vial of HCG and we'll just ship it to you. That's not how we've ever practiced. Our front desk would never do that. Those girls have been with us for a few years. We require an actual, whether it's a virtual telehealth or in person, we require some sort of visit documentation.
Okay, so that number that they found in her phone, you said that was the front desk number. Do people ever text from that number?
So, when we purchased this business, that was the number, and they only had a cell phone. And so that's how they answered phone calls and texted patients and whatever. So we have that cell phone still, but it's turned off. It hasn't been used in years. But that number is forwarded to our front desk lines now. So no one communicates from that number via text. And we've owned the business for 6 years. We did turn the phone on. We charged it and turned it on and tried to look through it, but there was nothing as far back as we could tell. And I think from my trying to remember, I think that the texts that showed up didn't go back far enough for the dates that they were wanting. So we didn't really have anything. I guess if they want phone records, they can ask for those.
Did the investigators ask you for the name of that person who owned the phone originally?
No, they didn't, but we've owned it since. That provider had paper charts. All she worked off of was paper charts. We have those charts, but they're in storage. When we moved to a booking system, we had those patients. All of those files were put in that system with a little note of their last visit or what they had done with her. So we should have had at least a name in there whether there was a visit note or not. If she was seen previously by the previous owner, there should have been a visit or at least her name in there. So when I asked them how in the world someone could be communicating with our number because this phone is sitting in this drawer, the investigator said they probably just spoofed your number. They probably looked to see who provided HCG around here and just used our number. They asked if we had a courier who delivers for us, and we absolutely never just hand deliver it or have someone hand deliver those things. We just ship through USPS. So if someone is doing a visit, but they want us to ship it to them, then we just ship it USPS. We would never just send a staff member or something to go deliver it.
So the investigators must have had information then that she used like a courier service. And you're saying you don't do that. You don't do a courier delivery service. Do you know if they gave you any dates that the text messages they were looking into, the dates of those text messages? Did they tell you what time frame they were looking for?
I'm pretty positive it was somewhere between 2021 and 2023, because I'm pretty positive that on that cell phone the messages only went back as far as 2024, maybe into the end of 2023, but they were looking for within the last year. So they mentioned her name and I thought, who is this? I had kind of heard about the case, but it wasn't something I followed. I'd known about it because of the whole Clayton Eckhard thing, but it was nothing that I followed closely. But the detective said I may know about it and I should look up her name. And I did look it up, and it's just such a weird thing to do. Who has the time to do that, honestly? It's such an odd thing. I've never gotten subpoenaed for anything, you know? I was like, oh gosh, what the heck? What's going on?
So you feel very secure that it was nobody who worked for you? You're sure about that? Like someone who might have worked with her behind the scenes?
No, we did have a provider that left around August or something like that late last summer, and I even reinstated her credentials, so I could look back through the actual schedule to look at actual patient names while that person was still here, but there were definitely at least 3 names they gave as far as her aliases. But we didn't find them. I don't remember the names. I didn't really know that I was going to need to remember any of this, to be honest. I just figured I'm not involved, so I don't remember.
Okay, so I want to ask you a couple of general questions about what you do and learn a little bit more about this HCG for weight loss. I'm assuming it's like Ozempic type you do injections like this for people who want weight loss, right? Like that's what a medical spa is. Tell me about HCG.
HCG is for weight loss. It's paired with a diet, a very low-calorie diet. I feel like HCG was fairly popular before GLP-1s ever came onto the market, you know? But because it's such a restrictive calorie diet, it's definitely not quite as popular anymore. But people can lose weight fairly quickly on it. That's the main reason we have it. Sometimes men will use it to help increase their testosterone levels if actual testosterone by itself isn't enough. You can use it kind of in conjunction to help increase their testosterone levels. We don't have many patients that come get it for that. It's mostly for weight loss.
And have you ever heard of people using the black market to get HCG? Is this something that people do because you need a prescription for it and some people just, for whatever reason, don't want to get one?
People do that with everything. People do that with filler. People in Arizona are injecting black market filler that they've purchased from overseas, or they've purchased from Mexico, or, they aren't actually brand names. They don't even have licenses. So it doesn't surprise me. I mean, people are purchasing black market or research peptides. So all these compounded GLP-1s, sometimes they're buying online for super cheap, and they say they're for research purposes only on them. I've had a patient recently who was buying testosterone from someone at the gym. Where is he getting it? That's a controlled substance. People will always find a way to get whatever they want, and they don't really care about quality or safety.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it. And keep me updated if you hear anything else that, might be interesting or helpful. And I'll let you know what I find out too. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed that. And thank you to the clinic for, coming out with this story and talking about it and giving us more information about the indictment and charges against Laura Owens and what the investigators have found. This case is shaping up to be one of the most interesting I've ever covered, and I can't wait to see what else there is out there. Make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned to this channel. I will be covering this case all the way through the criminal trial and all the way through sentencing, whatever that may be. So make sure that you're subscribed and following along. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.